thoughts I have of you, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and so is you, without exemption. I believe. Hey, are you laughing, bro?
Sorry.
I'm singing, bro. Don't laugh, bro.
Sorry. It's okay.
I did what I had to do, and so it true, without exemption. I believe the life was full. I travel it in every highway. Oh no, much more than this. I admire way.
Hey guys, Lysit here. Before I actually start the video, I just want to quickly open up what I've been struggling with when editing my videos. As you guys know, I always try to insert funny clips to actually make the video entertaining, specifically in the intro and outro. But recently, I've been running out of actually funny clips and funny ideas due to the nature of D&D content being just boring in general, so in the future, I might lessen the funny factor in my D&D related content just to actually be able to upload something. Believe it or not, this video was supposed to come out 5 to 7 days ago, but I've been holding off making this video due to a lack of funny content that could make it, well, funny. Another thing I want to point out is the lack of content AAC gives for content creators like me who make only AAC content. So I might eventually look for other things to record since it's demotivating having to work with devs that can barely update their game every month. Anyways, I don't want to hold you guys any longer for today's video. I'll just give you guys a quick rundown on the new mines area. So yeah, let's get started. First, let's talk about the scavenge options. I'll be presenting the information on the screen to not overload information onto you guys. Now moving on to the gear. I'm not going to go into full detail, but I will be going over some brief information about it. First, we have Pirate Armor. This armor is basically used for strength and con, which warriors use. Then we have Pirate Weapons, which scale into dex, strength, con, and intelligence per respective class that uses it. For example, if the ranger uses it, he will have dexterity and intelligence, and when brawler uses it, he will get dexterity and strength. You can craft the pirate gear using pirate with either metal frags or leather sometimes. Lastly, we have the crucible armor. But before we discuss the armor, I want to quickly tell you guys that we'll be discussing the charms and the other craftable items from the soul only during the time I discuss the events due to how many there are. So yeah, back to the crucible armor. Crucible armor is mostly used by everyone except the warrior and the priest, since it scales into intelligence, charisma, dexterity, strength, and con. You can craft them using pyrite, wires, oil, and black powder. Now moving on to the events. First, we have a Dwarven Artifact event. This event is a con check with 95 con being the maximum you need, and 0 being the minimum. This scales based on how much con you have plus 5%. So let's say you have 50 con, then just add 5% to it and you will have a 55% chance of gaining an extra 10 con. However, you will lose 5 cents from one stat that isn't con, so it could be -5 intelligence or -5 strength. Second, we have Dwarven Engineer event. This event is an intelligence check, in which you already have a 62.5% chance of succeeding if you have at least 26 intelligence, which is the minimum amount needed to do it, and the guaranteed amount is 65 intelligence. Being this event gives you a Dwarven toolbox, which lets you summon Shop and gives you 10 intelligence and 4 con. Quick little side note about Shop, but he's honestly pretty mid, and I would only summon him during boss fights for an extra tanker and damage dealer. But before he was patched, he actually managed to deal 100 damage due to a certain bug. The third event is the Dark Passages event. This event makes you fight 5 bats who have lightning resistance, and after you fight the bats, you get the Dark Sight boon and 5 free bat wings to eat. The fourth event is the shop, where you can usually find the Crucible gear. Oftentimes, you'll find 3, at least it was the case for me in the past 9 games I played, but apparently this is just RNG that I managed to find 3 materials over and over again. The fifth event is the Dark Tomb event. In this event, you fight 3 skeletons, and then you get a Forgotten Soul from it, which allows you to craft the Ancestral Seal, Ancient Funny Bone, and the Hammer of the Protector. The sixth event is the Gemstone Hall event. This event gives you 2 gemstones, 2 to 3 rock fragments, and a budding gemstone if you pass the strength check. The minimum strength you need is 11 strength, which automatically gives you a 25% chance to pass. However, per strength stat above 11, you get a 2.5% higher chance to pass, making 50 strength the max you need to get a 100% chance to succeed. The seventh event is the Robot Graveyard event. In this event, you get 3 scavenge options, which are Pyrite, Wires, and Oil. If you choose Pyrite, you will get Pyrite and the Ancient Pyrite Necklace. If you choose Warriors, you will get Wires and the Warrior Circlet. And if you choose Oil, you will get Oil and the Vial of Concentrated Oil. The 8th event is the Strange Rocks. In this event, you basically fight 3 rock golems to get an achievement and a rock golem heart, which does nothing for now. The 9th event is the Kobold Uprising event. This event makes you choose between the kobolds and the dwarves. If you kill the kobolds, you get Dragonite or Red Scales, and if you kill the dwarves, you get the Underdog boon and Crucible armor materials. And lastly, I saved the hardest event for last, which is the Intimidating Divinity event. In this event, you fight the Paladin, which has a total of 7 moves, and only 6, which he cycles through. And after defeating them, you will get the Black Shield Chipping's Charm. I'm going to flash on the screen the different moves he has, so that you don't get too information overloaded. So, the general strategy for this boss is to focus on turn 1, or use one of your setup moves, such as Revelry from the Bard. After that, the boss is going to have 2 energy, and I would highly suggest the Knight to Taunt here, in case the boss does Excelsius or Exius, but if it doesn't, that's 3 more turns of guaranteed 10% less AoE damage. And nuke if you can nuke now, but if you can't, that's fine, because later on, it just gets harder due to blindness and damage mitigation. The team synergy that is the most consistent is Druid, Bard, and Warrior. The rest of your teammates can be damage healers to speed up the process of killing the Paladin. The Druid with the Selfless Heart boon makes sure everyone's health points are sustained, and the Bard of Valor uses the Ballad of Revelry with the Cleansing boon to remove DOT stacks from the team. The Warrior, or Rampager, also helps mitigate damage using Taunt, in case the Paladin has 2 energy which helps the team kill the boss consistently. The 4th and 5th party member can focus on nuking, but the core 3 should always focus on sustaining the team. The most recommended Brunei for this fight is Darkside, as it lets you consistently do damage without having to wait for the blindness to go away, or make you miss. Overtime is also a decent choice due to the Paladin boss taking 100 years to kill. However, it takes too much boon space that it might ruin the boon build you might want to run. Selfless Heart and Cleansing also help a lot with health sustaining for the team. Now, moving on to the Mines boss. The boss gives a mechanical soul after death, which can be used to make new weapons. Honestly, the strategy for this boss is to just go for the minions first, then go for the boss, as they're not that strong. Regretting not buying more health potions. Cause like, we're getting so much gear.
Oh.
Paladin!
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, screw it, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Screw this run. Screw this one. We're dying.
Hell yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the baby's like 10 stars, right? So
No,
Yeah,
it's the same as
it's
Baby and
what?
Dante, I think.
oh shit,
It's
guys.
the same as Dante, it's not the same as Baby.
So wait. So if this it's the same as Dante, it's a multi-hit type. Multi-hit, right?
Hopefully.
Well, what I meant in
Probably.
difficulty.
Oh, you mean like difficulty?
Yeah, difficulty-wise.
Dante is the easiest one though. So I don't know.
We ball.
Yeah, no, it's probably Baby level then.
What? Baby level is like block. Okay.
That reminds me of the fight I just had with Paladin.
Okay.
Okay.
500 HP.
He's okay.
Okay, you both need to focus on healing.
Oh.
Just saying. Cleric and...
Oh, so that's what oil does.
Oh, it's just
Yeah.
one fire damage, but this
10% dodge for 35% burn damage.
35% more fire damage. Okay, I'm so happy this guy does holy damage.
Imagine he does holy flame.
Yeah, it does do holy flame.
Oh wait, isn't that a bad idea then? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Revelry. Yeah. So we always have
At least the Grandmaster always goes last. So, that's good. At least.
Listen, Blade.
What the hell's that?
I'm so happy I taunted him. I'm so happy I taunted him.
Can only attack the taunter. Physical attacks will deal.
Oh, that's only one turn though. Oh wait, no.
I know. But look
Wait,
what it does.
10% damage is reflected. Oh, hell no.
To all enemies.
What?
I'm gonna guard.
10% damage.
I'm ready to take the hit.
Disrespected all enemies. I'm not gonna inspire you. I'm gonna go for the power chord so we can stun him.
Okay, I'm gonna keep focusing then. Oh,
you
I
dodged
dodged
oh hell yeah.
Oh, I dodged it.
That's it, bro. WRNG. Wait, what move did he do?
He did the really powerful one.
The jump scare.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast. When do I get taunt back? I get taunt back in 3 times. Okay.
Is he still taunted? No, he's not.
Yeah, no, he's gonna lose taunt this turn.
Okay.
He lost taunt this turn.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna normal hit him and then I'm gonna rally next turn.
Yeah. I'm gonna start buffing.
Should I block? Cause
So
like,
we
I
take
don't have
10% of-
anything. I don't have anything useful to provide to you guys.
Can't you just
Buff me real
just
quick, I
break?
think. I'm gonna use a Mana Surge.
Okay.
Alright.
I have 6
Okay.
anyway.
God, I hope this does good.
You have
Oh,
Okay,
what
at
the
least
hell?
he didn't do the really powerful one. He did the
that's
blinding
really
one.
bad. You have a 25 chance to miss, and you're buffed like hella right now.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We just
So,
gotta
praying to
risk
God
it.
this lightning strike don't miss.
You're probably gonna miss, to be honest. And you have the what was it called? the little bullets, mana bullet, or the blue ones, the blue bullets. Fucking forgot their
I
names.
forgot what I said.
Same. Okay, we have. I don't want to Okay, got this.
Oh, it hit nice. Holy. Oh god, what is that?
Yeah.
He's either gonna attack
Physical
or he's
attacks will
going
deal
to
holy damage.
rage.
Holy damage will inflict blind and holy fire. Okay, so
Yeah, he's
I'm
either
gonna...
gonna heal himself or he's gonna attack.
Do you have vicious yet? Oh wait, he doesn't have vicious. Vicious
No.
strike is for assassins. Oops. Keep forgetting. Are you gonna taunt him? Cause I'm gonna stun him.
I can't taunt him.
Okay, I'm gonna stun him. In
Okay.
the power of Christ, I compel you to get stunned. Oh, are you sure that's a stun?
What? It should
fractured.
stun. It doesn't do it at bosses, I guess.
Yeah, they take 30% more damage though, so that means... Oh,
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Oh,
He healed himself.
Oh, what?
Like
That's 100 HP heal. What the hell?
massive. Stop applying your
That's fine.
oil! It's bad. It's bad for you. He has like holy flame or something, so you gotta be careful of that.
They haven't taken any damage, to be honest.
Yeah, but like holy flame could eradicate him, so be careful,
I
bro.
don't think so. Paladin's not that strong.
Okay. Apply Serenade as well. Oh no. I'll apply. Oh wait, Riverwave's gone. Let's put that back up.
Yep.
There you go. So you guys get that lovely healing.
Lovely, lovely. Poison? Nice.
Oh,
Was I supposed to
another
die?
dodge.
Was I supposed to die there?
You are supposed to die there.
Oh, what did that do? What's that supposed to do?
It would have exploded all of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gang. I think this boss is really easy. He's not landing. He's not landing anything, bro.
Okay, but we dodged
One
all of
hit
those
and we're
attacks.
not gonna make it out.
Does anyone have good moves up or not? If not, I'm going.
I just wanted, so you guys can do whatever.
Probably, I don't think I have lightning strike back yet.
Okay, none of you guys have anything good. So, just gotta focus. Alright. Gotta
Yep,
focus.
this is the only turn where you can focus.
Oh, you have something
Go.
good up.
3 magic ball.
Any bit.
Ooh. Ooh, that hurt a
I'm
lot.
gonna need some healing.
You get fractured.
Yeah, I do have fractured.
You guys did have something good up. I could have helped you. Bruh. I could have buffed you guys. Oh well.
To be honest, he's the one's gonna go next turn, so I'm just gonna attack.
Okay, I think my lightning strike is gonna come back soon.
I'm gonna inspire you guys so you don't take damage.
Alright,
Much
thank you.
this next turn.
And... Yep, okay. Gonna come back.
Oh, he did the radiance.
And he blinded me again. Good.
I mean, good luck hitting that 25.
I mean, just like risk it.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, oh.
what do you mean?
Oh god.
Ho ho ho. Green giant. Wait, I haven't
just
listened
gonna-
to the music of this.
Oh,
ew.
listen to it.
It's just adventure music.
Hope they get better themes.
It's just adventure music. It's not my type. Does anyone have anything good
Alright.
up right now? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna get lightning strike
Yeah,
back
lightning
soon.
strike.
I'm gonna mana surge.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
gonna-
way too long.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll serenade him.
Oh no, he's gonna borrow
Oh.
divinity and then he's gonna heal himself.
Get 50%
Uh,
incoming damage and deal 50. Oh,
Oh, so
ew!
last one that deals solo damage.
50% more
Goddamn.
damage. More ability damage. Yo, do we wanna attack this ring this time?
I already have my overflow. Let's just do it.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Just gotta get more healing up. Remember to refresh your revelry next time, by the way. Oh, there you go. Oh wait. Oh no, shield, why?
Oh wait, what did Omashi do?
14 damage, okay.
Oh,
Oh
Okay,
my god.
heal.
Holy. Who designed this?
I'm not even gonna say it.
Really?
That's just to decrease damage, to be honest.
He ain't even taking damage anymore.
Okay, he did.
Oh.
He did something. So
He
I'll-
did nothing.
I'll
He did
attack
barely
now.
any damage.
He poked us for like 2 damage.
Yeah.
But
So
our
look at
bard has our priest has full energy again.
I know.
It's been that long.
How long has it been? Oh, we should have like overtime now. Feel the power. Have 6+ energy at any given time.
Yep.
Oh, energy cascade. That's cool.
Turn 12.
Wait. Do our attackers have any damage dealing right now?
No,
I
I just use my lightning strike. I have a fireball
have
though.
energy.
You have fireball.
Yeah.
I'll give you shatter. Right.
Mm.
Alright. Yeah, Shadow's good either way.
Cause like I'll come back. I'll come back pretty fast.
Yep.
Oh,
42
nice.
damage.
Oh.
Oh
Stun
my
them.
god.
And then he blinded people. Nice.
Fine.
I feel like this
I'm
boss
fine
is
with
more of a sustain type. Sustain type boss. You have to sustain
Yeah,
the team.
you're supposed to.
So you can't just rush him down. Oh, I got healed. Nice.
Yep. I mean, you could probably rush him down if you were completely min-maxed.
Visivine inspiration.
I mean, like 4 of us don't have a subclass right now.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only I
Oh,
have
damn.
a subclass. Cause like
Oh wait, I don't even have a subclass. Why am I so strong?
the items are just boosting everyone right now.
Yeah.
I boosted.
Oh, holy shit.
Excelsior!
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Could we get some healing?
Oh, he is going to die to holy damage. Oh, nice. Wait, you're just dead.
Actually, wait, has my will procced yet?
No.
I hope not.
No,
No.
it
You're
has not.
2.1. You're 2.1. So you have to kill him now. No. Okay, just gonna kill him now.
Don't think we
Oh,
can.
holy shit.
He's gonna die next turn.
Oh wait, you
Bro, do I have
healed.
a surge?
Oh, you didn't even get force of will.
I can lightning strike right now.
Go do
I
it.
mean,
Okay.
Go
like
do it.
next turn.
There's
Just do it at
vulnerable
this
and
point.
fracture.
He's vulnerable. He's fractured.
I can mana surge and then lightning strike next turn.
No. You have to
Just
do it now.
lightning strike straight away.
The
You have to do
No,
it.
the lightning strike is the next turn. I can't do it right now.
Okay, go mana search then.
Oh, okay. Message. Okay.
Pray to God he don't target me.
He probably isn't. Haha.
No, but he attacks everyone
okay.
anyways.
John, or no?
Remember? Sacred
Oh god.
Pave the path.
Do you have holy imbue? Please have holy imbue.
He doesn't.
Please.
Oh,
Oh my god.
You have taunt?
Oh, did we lose?
You have taunt?
I can't taunt.
I mean, at most, probably one person is going to die, but...
Oh, I
hanging on
literally,
by a
I had no
thread.
energy in order to taunt. Okay, what can we do?
You have to make sure that this hits, bro.
Just
Luck.
barely.
You have to
Oh, I haven't procced yet. Lightning strike! Please do something!
Oh, it did
damage.
something, but one of us is gonna die. Oh, he's healed
Oh
himself.
my
Nice.
god!
Very good,
That's
very
actually good for us. That's good for us. That's good for
massive,
us.
massive, massive.
Okay, now we just need to heal.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Yo, what the fuck? Wait, did he just strike? Oh,
Did you just attack?
I don't know what the
I
enemy
don't
is
think
doing.
they have anything right now. They just missed the Bane too.
Oh no.
Bro, I'm scared. I don't just guard,
Can you
honestly.
drink? Can you drink?
You know God will still kill you.
Yeah,
God will still kill
No,
you.
you have
the
anything to
fucking
drink?
magic missile go.
Oh wait, you didn't drink? Oh, okay.
Oh!
It's okay. We can bring it back next
It's
turn.
fine. You're having those mechanics.
Exhaustion, yeah.
Gang, low
But we did lose a huge bit of our damage. We need healing. We need healing.
Are we gonna get heals or not? Damn. What the fuck?
What happened to Holy MB?
I don't know, bro. It's like a nightmare.
Could you hit him with the power quad thing?
Do you have taunt? Because I'm gonna shield you if you do.
I will next time.
I'll shield you. So it's like 10% damage.
Oh, he hit me anyways.
Oh.
Wait, no, they left.
Oh shit.
It's just me and you, bro. It's just me and you.
I'm just solo healing now. Are you We're fucked. Okay. You have to end this turn.
Nah, we got
Did I
it.
taunt or cross slash? Did I taunt or cross slash?
You have to taunt. I mean, sorry. Cross slash.
It's fine, I'm
sorry.
going. It's just so you don't die, bro.
True that. I'll shatter him, so your next
Okay.
attack does a lot of damage. Nice, nice.
Ooh.
Good. You have to end him now. It's not looking good.
Oh, wait,
Turn
no.
20, let's go.
No,
Oh, I
you
missed.
You missed one of them. That's...
I missed one of them. It's so close. No, he's gonna heal.
Okay, now you can rush him down. The assassin got it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the
he's dead,
assassin got it.
he's dead. Okay. You drink up, drink up.
go.
He's dead, he's dead. Oh, never mind.
Oh, finally.
Don't
What do you
drink up,
drop?
we have to get him.
Imperium Meminit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he gives
Oh.
the black shield chippings, which I need.
Hey guys, Lycid here. At the time of finishing up this video, AAC just dropped an update, which includes the addition of more content, specifically trainers. I'm going to cover them on a much shorter part 2 video of the mines, because the video is already 28 minutes long, and I just don't want it to be any longer. I also plan to separately cover the new subclasses in different videos, in order to make sure that they also just don't stretch on for too long. So yeah, thank you for watching, and have a great day. Peace.
Yes, there were times I'll see you when I get old, more than I could do. But it all when done, I let it all and spit it out.